Hello, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can crochet a skirt like this, and you can also make a top to go with it. So I already made this shirt, so now I'm going to make a skirt to go with it. I'm going to be using this Simply Karen soft yarn because it's super soft, and this other one is Studio Samples. And I got this super cute kit from Amazon. This stuff is all from Amazon. I'll put it in the description. But it comes with hooks in all different sizes from like 2 to 8. So I'm going to be using the 4.5. But it also comes with stitch markers and then the yarn needles. And you could also use an even thinner yarn needle, which I got this from Michael's. Oh, and also, this I got from Hobby Lobby. But it's a light glow in the dark. So you can like do this in the dark. I actually haven't tried it yet, but I'll try it today. And all of this stuff in here, it comes in this little pouch so you can keep it all together, which is really nice. And it has a little owl on it. And also, this is very important, that little kit also comes with these scissors you can use. And you could put it in here for a little safety feature. So when you're making this, it doesn't need to be super tight on you because I'll show you how you can add this string in here so that you can tighten it so that it will fit you and it's not going to slip off. So there's two different ways to get started. You can either make a chain that fits around your waist, or what I like to do is this, which is you will make a slip knot and chain 2, 1, 2, and then go back into that second chain from the hook and do a single crochet, then chain 1, turn your work, and do another single crochet, and you just want to keep doing chain 1 and then a single crochet until you get to the length that fits you. And I like doing it this way because sometimes when I just make a long chain, it's either too tight or it's too loose, and this way I can end up making it the best size because I'll be able to see if it fits me or not by putting this against me. So keep doing this until you get to the length that you need. So after you're finished with the first step, you can try it on around you and see if it fits you. So it does stretch a little bit. Like you might think this is too big, but we're going to put that thing around it, the string around it, so we can loosen it. Maybe I'll make this a little bit looser. So before you connect it, you want to line it up and make sure that it's facing the same way so that it's not all twisted. Like this is all like lined up good. So now what we're going to do is chain 1 before this and put your hook back into that last stitch. Make sure you have your work lined up and then put it through that very first stitch and then yarn over, pull through everything, and see now your work's connected. So you could do chain 1 and then you could either do double crochet around the border or you could just do a single crochet. So I'm just going to do a single crochet around this whole thing. And also before doing this, you could try it on. And see if it fits you. So you might say, what the heck, that's too loose. You know what, I think this might be too loose, so I'm actually going to loosen this. Alright, so this is a little bit loose on me, but I think that it should be okay. Because you don't want it to be so loose, but a little bit loose is alright. Line it up, put my hook through this first chain, yarn over, pull through everything, and now I'm just going to single crochet around the border. You just put 1 single crochet in each of these holes. You could also look at your thing to make sure that you have this part all lined up, because then if it's twisted, you're going to have to start over. So like I said before, you could do a double crochet or a single crochet around this. It doesn't really matter. But we want to add this row of single crochet just so that we can do the shell stitch for the rest of it. Or if you want to do double crochets, you could do that. But even for the end, when we're going to be tying this together with putting the string through it, that's why you need to have the row of a single crochet or a double crochet. So you're also going to want to do this to the other side, but you could do that at the end. So the way that I'm making mine is that it's going to be like a little bit loose around the whole thing, and that's how I want it to be because I'll be able to tighten it at the end. So how you want to do this can be customizable. So here I basically did shell stitch the whole way. This is a shirt, so I did the top half double crochet, and I did that because the shell stitch is kind of see-through, so I wanted it to cover my boobs here, and so then I went into the shell stitch. But with the other top that I made, I just did 2 rows of shell stitch at the bottom, so it looks like this. But you can make this all one color, multiple colors, whatever you want to do. You can go crazy with it. So now I'm going to show you how you can make the shell stitch. I would advise, though, doing a few rows of double crochet if you were making the strapless shirt. But for this shell stitch, you're going to insert your hook, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go back into that same stitch and do a double crochet. Then what you're going to do is chain 1, so this counts as a V-stitch. Then go into the 3rd stitch, so skip 2, 1, 2, here's the 3rd one, and then you're going to make 3 double crochets in a row. So to do double crochets, you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through both. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through both. So the pattern is going to be now, as you have your V-stitch, you have your 3 double crochets, then your V-stitch, then 3 double crochets, and each time you chain 1 in between them. So after you do your 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, go into that 3rd stitch and make a V-stitch. So to do the V-stitch is you do a double crochet, then chain 3, and then you insert another double crochet into that same stitch. And this is where we're going to do like the shell stitch part. So chain 1, go into that 3rd stitch and do 3 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, go into that 3rd stitch and make your V-stitch. So it's a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, back into it, chain 1, and you just keep repeating this until you get to the end. So I'm at the end here, and if I was going to go into that 3rd stitch, it would basically just be back to the front. So I'm just going to go into this middle one and just do a double crochet. And then I'm just going to chain 1 and then connect this with a slip stitch. So now the new pattern is going to be chain 1, and you are going to put 7 double crochets inside of every V-stitch. So before even doing the next step, I would just check and make sure that you did it right and you have a V-stitch, 3 double crochets, V-stitch, 3 double crochets, just because you don't want to start doing it and then you get to a spot where you messed up and you accidentally did 2 V-stitches in a row or 3 double crochet sets in a row. But if you have it right, then you can move on. So after you have your 7 double crochets inside the V-stitch, you're going to chain 1, put a double crochet on top of this middle one of your 3 double crochets. Chain 1, now go back to doing 7 double crochets inside of the V-stitch. I always like to count again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you chain 1 and put a double crochet on top of that middle double crochet. And you're just going to keep repeating this all the way till you get to the end. So then when you get to the end, you can just slip stitch back into this first part that you did it in. And you could either continue with this color, but I'm going to chain colors, so I'm just going to chain 1, cut my yarn, and we could get rid of the strings at the end. And I'm going to get my new color, so I'm going to change into this other blue. So I'm gonna start by going into this double crochet here, and I'm just gonna attach my new yarn, chain 3, and double crochet back into that. So that's gonna be the V-stitch. So it's sort of like the same pattern from before. So we're gonna do 3 double crochets on top of this in the middle of the 7. So you can count to 3, 1, 2, 3, go into that third one, and just do 3 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do our V-stitch back on top of this double crochet from before. So you do a double crochet, chain 3, and do another double crochet. Then you chain 1, do it 3 double crochets in a row in the middle of this. So 1, 2, 3. That's why you want to make sure that there's 7 double crochets inside of your V-stitch, so that when you add the 3 on here, it will be even and it will be in the middle. So every time you're switching between the sections, you will chain 1. Now I'm going to go back into my V-stitch, and just keep repeating this pattern all the way till you get to the end. And then it's going to be the same thing as before for doing the rest of the shell. So you'll just be doing 1 double crochet on top of the middle and then 7 in the V-stitch. And then you're going to keep doing this until you get to the length that you want. So it's going to be personal preference for how long you make this. And also in between doing these, I like to try on the skirt to make sure that it fits me good. Because if you realize it's too tight, like once I was making something and then I tried to try it on and I couldn't even get it on me because it was too tight, so I had to start over. So that's why it could be good to make this a little loose, since we will be able to tighten it with the tie that we're going to add inside of it at the end. So that's why it's good to try it on, because then you could try and increase your stitches or decrease them. It's kind of hard to do that with the shell pattern, but like if you're just doing double crochets, then you would be able to do an increase. If you want to do an increase, then you would just do 2 double crochets inside of the same stitch. Like that. And then the decrease is you go into this stitch, pull your yarn through, and then go into this next one and pull your yarn through, and then go through all 3 and then go through it again. So I just connected those together. So I wouldn't do that on the shell stitch, but if you were doing double crochets, you could do that. So after you finish this row, it's going to be the same as before, where you will put the 7 double crochets inside the V-stitch, 1 double crochet on top of this. Remember to chain 1 in between each of them, and then you're just going to keep doing this until you get to your desired length, and you could switch colors however many times you want to. So I'll show you how you can add the string through it to tighten it. So you want to get a yarn needle and put your yarn through, and I like to tie like 2 knots just so that it doesn't come off the needle. Then find where you like connected everything, so that would be over here. So I'm going to start this way. So then you just kind of weave your yarn through, so you go through here and then go back the other way, so it's like a zigzag. You could put like a few of these on here before you pull the yarn through. So after you get to the end, you want to make a slip knot, and I like to add a chain at the end, because then when you tie it up, it'll be easier for you to untie it. If you, instead of just like leaving it like a string like this, it might be harder to untie it. Alright, so I'm going to make a chain that's like this long. I don't know how many chains I did. I just kept going with it, but do the length where you think you'll be able to tie it up and do a tie. So then to connect to this, you could just open your hook and then put this chain through it. Let go of your hook, and then it's like it tied up like that. okay? So another thing is you want to make sure that this is on the outside so that you can tie it. And this one is over here. So I'm just gonna bring it through here. So now they're both on the outside. So to make the chain on the other side, you're gonna just want to tie a knot here to make your slip knot. So it's okay if it's not exactly at the end like this one is, but you want to then make your chain and have it be the same length as your other one. So then it will look like this, and then you'll be able to tie it up like that. I like to just tie this at the end here like 2 or 3 times. And that kind of gets rid of that string too that's hanging out. So it might be kind of hard for you to tie it up in the back, so you could bring it to the front and you could tighten it as tight as you want it to be. And you could just tie it up in a bow, or you could even put beads on the end of these if you wanted to. I don't have any with me right now, so I'm not going to do that. But then it will look like this. And you just want to make sure you have that lined up even in the back. So I'm not done yet, obviously, but I'm just going to show you guys how you can get rid of those strings. So you want to get them all to be on the inside, right? So these ones already are on the inside. This one's not, so you just take your hook and bring it back there. And what I like to do is take the strings that are closest to each other and tie them together. So I'll show you with this one. And I triple knot this. And then I'm going to get my scissors and just cut off some of it. So with this one, when I finish doing it, then I'll have another blue string to connect this to. There's no one for this white one, but it's pretty on the inside, so I'll just leave it there. And I'll show you on this other skirt that's already done what that will look like. So this was my end, so then my inside here, you can kind of see a little bit like how I tied them all up. But it's on the inside and nobody can see that we did that, so that's what I like to do. Now you know how to make a crochet strapless shirt or a skirt. Please like and comment if this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!